Hello there.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Al Travis Show, Senator Susan Kent. We call it Cleanup in Aisle 9 or Yabot. And that Cleanup in Aisle 9, keep that in mind. We're going to talk about that a little later. Senator Susan Kent, I just had a guest on talking about this guy she dated who, on their first date, was talking about eating an entire head of lettuce every day for lunch. Just a head of lettuce. I mean, it's freaky.
Like straight, and people with no salad dressing?
Nothing. Leaf by leaf.
Taken to calling it salad sauce.
Salad. I like you got to have salad sauce. There's no reason to have it otherwise. Or bacon bits. Either.
I agree, and I love veggies as much as anybody. Yeah.
No one really loves them. They just pretend to make them better than the rest of us. But you got to be you. And this guy's him. He brings that up. They're not going to date anymore. That's just freaky. I'm glad you're married because I think you could do the same thing. I don't know what in the world you think sharing this idea that you live out in the middle of the jungle works. Last week,
pine trees in a jungle. Come on.
Well, whatever you want to call it, this is like the new zoo without bars. You're out there taking photos of this hawk that, by the way, will eat your cat if you had it out.
It's like the size of a blue jay. It's one of these smaller falcons. Yes, and they're two different kinds.
See, and the fact you know both kinds. What are you, Yul Gibbons? You out there chewing on bark just to get through the day when you're out too far from home?
I got a tip for you. This is so cool. It's called the Merlin app. It's really great. You download it on your phone and then you hear a bird and you play it and it identifies your bird for you. And my Merlin found a Merlin. It was so cool.
It's like the last app I will ever put on my phone. I'm not an app guy, but to find out what the sound of the bird is, I don't see that as a thing.
People love this app. It's hilarious. Yes.
All right. The other thing you put on, and again, watch the hawks. Those things will eat your children. If they can get them small enough, grandchildren, they will. The bear thing again. Have we not discussed the bear thing enough? Those bears are way too close to your house. Here you got a running video of the dang thing and their cubs running by your place.
Well, that was down at the neighbors. That was in the neighbor's driveway down the hill. But no, I couldn't believe. Here it is. It's Al Eve, Tuesday night. My husband's replacing some boards on the deck, and he hears this noise, and he comes in, and he's like, bear, bear, bear. And I'm like, I automatically knew what he was talking about. So I go out and get my phone, and sure enough, we see the bear down in kind of the brush, right? Yeah. And then we realize later it's a she. She keeps walking, and then, because this is the same story we've talked about in the past, the neighbors have a bear-proof trash can because they've had the experience of the trash being spread all over their driveway. But they keep it outside, so the bears keep coming by to check on it.
Give it a shot.
Right there, right. And so you'd seen the earlier photos of the mom and the 3 babies, and 3 cubs is not normal. That's kind of a special thing. And so sure enough, when she walked up into the driveway, there went those 3 little babies, and they're just the cutest thing, and they're getting so big. But
that is a problem with baby bears. They get big into big bears. Here's what I don't think you understand. When folks, I think, driving down the road listening to this conversation between us, when my husband, I'm quoting you, my husband ran in yelling, bear, bear, and I knew what he meant, and I grabbed my phone and ran out. 99.9% of the rest of us hear this, we run in the opposite direction. Bear, bear, and that's not normal behavior, Senator.
Well, we are on an elevated deck.
I don't give a crap about your elevated deck. Bears climb stuff.
If the bear were to start coming our way, we'd have time to get out and lock the doors. So, yeah.
All right.
The babies are so cute.
Do this. Listen to that again and listen to what you said and do it like a normal person. Bear, honey. Really grab the phone. No one does that, Yul Gibbons. All right.
It's my happy place. What can I say?
It'll be your happy deathbed is what it'll be. Yeah. And then what's nice is you have a nice thing to look at when the bear is chewing you up, and the last thing you'll be, oh, look at how pretty is that a hawk? Oh. All right. We got things.
Exactly.
of all the things 2025 has done for me in this program, and Supreme Court's getting together, not doing your job for 3 weeks, and all that we have had, overrunning, special session.
Yeah, but you in the setup, really?
No, what's a yeah, but this has been 2025 is the craziest year on record. Helps guys like me do what I do, but this I couldn't even dreamed of this. I'm sitting with Senator Susan Kent, and I want to talk about naked guy in the Senate chamber. Did you have that on your bingo card, Senator? I don't think you did.
My bingo card was torched in that fire pit right over my left shoulder. That's
It's funny because it's radio fodder. I got it. But on the other hand, what we have found out in the last couple of days is nuts to me. And here's where we're at. So, naked guy found in the Capitol. The police show up, and he's babbling about being the governor. He's naked. They feel there's no harm from the guy. He's harmless. He's just bedtime for Bonzo, if you'll pardon the expression. Taking the Regents.
Yep.
Regent looks him over and says, "Yep, no problem here. Send him out." So he goes right back to the Capitol. Got his stuff there. Might as well go back. Gets picked up. They send him back. Regent says, "No, he's okay." Send him back. Third time, they put him in the Hooskow and find out he's wanted for warrants in Wisconsin. It says a few things. How off bubble do you have to be to get mental help? The guy was naked in the state capitol, babbling on about being the governor. That doesn't get you an entrance to an overnight stay somewhere with a doctor to talk you through this?
Yeah. I mean, it's part of the problem is, and I think this is something everybody can agree on, we do not have an adequate mental health care system now. No. And too much insurance doesn't cover it. We've had to, our hospitals have really struggled because they become the holding station for people with mental health problems while this stuff gets sorted out. So you have people who need actual emergency medical physical care that have trouble getting it because the ERs are full. So I mean, this is a big systemic problem. And
agreed.
So yeah, I mean, people are being released when maybe they shouldn't be, but what else?
Maybe they shouldn't be. What's the level that got in that night? Because this guy didn't. And then my thought was originally that drugs are alcohol.
The standard is, a risk to themselves or somebody else, right? I mean, and I'm sure they put some test to that and figured out it wasn't actually a risk. So
everybody keeps saying he's not, but he kept going back. There's issues here, but I would liken it to, and again, I thought first off, drugs or alcohol. We're on a little something or doing something. And you remember Andy Griffith? I think most of our lives would be better if we went back to the Andy Griffith show. And Otis, when he knew got too tanked, couldn't go home to his wife because she'd get mad. He just let himself in and slept her off, and then left.
In the morning, Andy says, "Hi, Otis."
Yeah, it was so funny back in the day because but now it's almost to that point. We need, and I presume Ramsey County, a bed, a place that we're not arresting him, but we're giving him time to wear off because guess what? You can't keep going to the Capitol. We got a few things to do there.
I mean,
is that wrong?
If you spend time talking to law enforcement and I represented part of Ramsey County, and so the Ramsey County workhouse is literally across the street from Woodbury. And I toured that and talked to the folks working there. And there is some unfathomable percentage of the people that we are incarcerating who have serious mental health issues. And so, you have the jail and the prison people dealing with mental health meds. And, there's a real question, should they even be in jail? I mean, it's like, if not for the mental health problem, if the mental health problem was able to be treated and managed, would we need to be paying to have them in our jails? So it is
I think you and I are on the same side here, but this guy was no harm to anybody unless he decided he wanted to walk around naked in the mall. I mean,
but then we have to invest in training, and you can't train a psychologist or a psychiatrist overnight. People have to get educated and trained, and we have to have the people, and then we have to have the facilities, and there's not a lot of private money going into them.
Understand. We've got to go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the money we saved that we could have used for mental health. We talk about that with Senator Susan Kent next on the Al Travis Show. It's Clean Up in Aisle 9. Yeah, but...
Braver Angels Minnesota is part of a national movement that brings together conservatives, liberals, independents, and others to restore trust, respect, and goodwill in politics. We seek not to eliminate our differences, but rather deal with them head on, with respect and understanding. We do not try to change people's views, but how they view the other side. There will always be differences. Braver Angels Minnesota believes the best way forward is to change how we deal with those differences. Join the civil conversation at mn.braverangels.org.
Do you have a closet full of old videos, photos, slides, or films? Regain that space and preserve those memories for future generations. Visit archivinglifemedia.com or call 952-829-8018. See how safe and simple it is to digitize all your media. Gain peace of mind knowing that all those important memories will be saved and can be seen and shared again. Do it today. Check out archivinglifemedia.com or give them a call, 952-829-8018.
Are you kidding me?
You know that comment you said to the radio? The thing that we got wrong?
Clearly, Brussels sprouts are the worst vegetable.
Call us and let the world know your thoughts. 855-257-7469. That's 855-ALS-SHOW.
She's Senator Susan Kent, Clean Up on Aisle 9. Yeah, bud. I don't know if you remember, my grandmother had in her South St. Paul home, she got new furniture. This had to have been early 70s. And she bought that plastic covering so that it wouldn't go. You're shaking your head. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I believe all furniture at the Capitol needs to be placed in that now. As we found out, a naked guy was sitting in the champion seat, Bobby Joe champion seat. Bobby Joe, for folks who do not know, Senator Champion, the most best-dressed senator ever.
Yes.
I don't even want to, no idea.
I would say Jeff Hayden had a bit of style, too. Still does.
He gave him a run for his money. I'll give that. Yeah. But this guy's suits, worth probably more than I make in a year. The guy looks like $1 million. He's not sitting on that chair again. Get rid of the chair, put a new chair in. He's not putting his butt on that chair, I guarantee you, because there's no way.
There is reupholstery, and that is the solution.
No, this is the one. You take this chair, do whatever you got to do it to it, put it in a museum somewhere, and put a new chair in and say, this is the one the ugly naked guy sat in, and we move on. Do you know what this is that I'm showing you? Can you see this?
Looks like a doorstop. I've wondered why
it is a key to the Capitol. I have a key to the Capitol right here. Yes, it looks like a doorstop to you and I because it actually came out of the door that keeps from slapping this door closed in the studio. It is a doorstop. This is what the ugly naked guy, I only call him I don't know, naked guy did to get into the Capitol. He put one of these in the door.
Right.
Now, Senator, We had four people shot 8 weeks ago. I don't think the Capitol has to be, what was that Die Hard movie? Nakatomi Towers. I don't think we need to have, underwater welding machines and a computer geek to bust the secret code and hostages. I don't think we need that kind of security. But this
I know
got him into the Capitol.
It does make you wonder that somewhere along the lines we don't have the little alarms that ring when a door is not fully shut and latched. Yes.
My buddy at his cabin up north, I presume maybe you do. The bears would open it up, you'd go off all the time, but he's got it. So when he goes and he hits the secret combo, if any doors are open or windows are cracked, the alarm goes off.
Right.
Now,
and
we don't have that for the Capitol?
I ran into this. I forget. I did that Almanac at the Capitol show sometime this spring, and
right.
I like tootle on up there like I always do, and I go to open the door and it's locked, and I'm like, what? Why is this door locked? It was like 6 o'clock or something. And sure enough, I mean, they really tightened security. So I had to, text the guy and I'm like, I'm here. Somebody want to let me in, And so I know they have been tightening up security. It started when we locked everything down for COVID because there was nobody there, and so there was no reason to have it open for everybody. And,
weren't you a part of the people? Weren't you there when they refixed the whole thing up? It was like $250 million. Yeah. I loved it. Look, weren't you there? Didn't that come off locks?
A lot of security was changed with that. There were a lot of security enhancements, but there was still this idea, it's the people's house, it needs to be open, it needs to be accessible. And it really wasn't until, and there were changes made, right? I mean, so it's like I used to park literally right in front of the steps of the Capitol, and they turned that into a pavement thing, and then there were the bollards, and so you can't get vehicles that close to the Capitol anymore, without, so there were ways that the building was hardened and access points were limited, but it's always been this balance, right? People are already intimidated, and this is the thing Shannon and I work on with Majority in the Middle. People are intimidated by the building and the process and the system, and that's the opposite of what we want, right? We want people to feel welcomed into that process, but there have to be security systems.
From 8 to 5, doors are open. I get it, but I don't. And this is me, so you got to have the little buzzer go off, or janitor guy or security guy. As soon as it's 5 o'clock, go around the building and make sure the doors are closed.
There are a lot of doors. I mean, that's the thing.
Okay. Okay. Either that or let knucklehead naked guy get in. They're choices.
That's why there needs to be, an actual electronic detection thing is my personal Susan's theory for the day.
Okay. And then just one last thing before we go to break. So we had a guy who was a knucklehead 8 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, whatever, do horrible things, pre-planted. This guy was off his rocker. He's not normal. He did a horrible thing with some pre-planning and got the mask and all the things. This guy, a naked guy, got in with a wedge. What if some bad human who wasn't off his rocker, who was a bad guy who spent more than 5 minutes?
Yes.
It's got to be harder.
They're not disagreeing. I'm absolutely agreeing with you. And I think everybody agrees. And the thing is, it's how quickly this has changed. That's my point. It was 2014, 15 when they started doing the big remodel of the Capitol.
Yeah.
And and again, there were a lot of security enhancements made. But it's always been an important and I think a meaningful distinction to keep it open and accessible, but to also keep it safe. But that definition of security and what that looks like has changed just in those 12 years. That's my point.
And it's going to change tomorrow. Evidently, the State Patrol is paying a third party to come in and take a look, which, by the way, you got all the State Patrol in the world. You guys couldn't figure out what if he propped the door open? This is like a bad comedy. It is kind of, what was that Apple Dumpling Gang? That's what it reminds me of.
The thing is, the security, the State Patrol, they're in charge of it at all times, right? But they're physically on site and present when people are present, when it's open. Yeah. And I remember one time I had my car didn't start right in front of the Capitol steps. And at 2 a.m, and I couldn't get any help. I had to call my husband to come. And the nice Italian marble workers let me back in the building while I waited for my husband to show up at 2 a.m. in St. Paul.
And if only you had a doorstop, you could have kept your pride open until you got back. Gotta fly. We'll be back after this with more with Senator Susan Kent on the Al Travis Show.